Oh, good, Marie. You must have just gotten my message. I just saw your note about the link.
Oh, I got it from the eye doctors.
Oh, good. The eye
Well,
doctor.
well, we're eye doc in a box, but we're not doctors, Marie.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Eye in the box. Sorry. Sorry.
No worries. No worries.
Uh,
Well, actually, technically, I am a doctor, but I'm not an eye doctor.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
we had a lovely meeting with Jenny Eckert and her group from Mission
Good.
Circles today.
Mhm.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
They have, well, she probably told you they have twins in a couple of different countries.
Mhm. Honduras.
Cuba, Haiti, and Honduras.
Honduras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty remarkable what they've been able to accomplish.
Seemed to be.
Yeah.
It was fun to listen to.
Good. Hello there, Dick.
I don't get your email, David. So that's why
You don't.
I sent it to you and the eye in a box because we had communication because of the translation.
Oh.
I saw it on Facebook.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you found it there. Let me double check. I thought your email was in our list, so I'll if you're not,
No.
I'll
No,
add you.
and also we're
Hmm.
still going to present, the angels are going to present from that parish on Monday. And that's,
Oh, good. Okay. Good. Hey, Dr. Sue.
Hello.
I always know it's you as soon as I see the donkey. I'm like, oh, Sue's here.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I am.
Dragging her ass up a mountain.
That's right. More like it's dragging me.
Yeah. I just checked the registration before I logged on and we went from 66 this morning to 76 this evening. So
Excellent.
expect a lot more folks here.
Excellent.
Yeah. Don't mean to put the pressure on now, Larry and Million, but Dr. Sue has done a ton of eyeglass strips. She's retired, right? Retired
A
ophthalmologist.
retired ophthalmologist.
Yeah.
And I've done multiple cataract surgery missions and a ton of eyeglass missions too.
Fantastic.
No pressure at all tonight on us.
Actually,
You know, if you get off track, she'll bring you right back on course.
one of your peers from Ethiopia was on a training with us 2 weeks ago. So I think you would say we passed the sniff test.
Great. I'm hearing a lot of feedback.
I'm getting an echo. Oh, it just went away. I'm not sure where that was coming from. So Larry, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, great.
I had to step away. My phone was ringing there, and so I went
Oh, okay.
to shut it
Very
off.
good. Okay. Well, I'm gonna head. It's 7:31. I was given just an extra minute to have a few more folks join us. So good to see so many of you, and I'm assuming the rest of you are just having really bad hair days, and you want us to see your hair today. But if you can come on camera, it's great. We always love to see everybody's smiling faces. Great to have you join us from all over the country tonight. Um, I, well, shoot, the gentleman I asked to open us with prayer is not on yet. So do we have any volunteers? Anybody want to start us just with an opening prayer? No brave soul. Okay, I guess I'll have to do it then. All right. Well, let's just pause for a moment, become aware of the awesome presence of our Lord. Thank you, God, for the opportunity to gather tonight. And as always, we do so in your name. We thank you for the opportunity to gather through this incredible technology that allows us to see one another and be together, even though we're so far apart. Our hearts are with our friends all over the world tonight. And it's our friendship, our relationship with those that you have given us the privilege to serve that brings us together tonight. We thank you for the mission of Eyeglass and the Doc in a Box, and for Dr. Curtis, and for starting this awesome ministry. And Lord, we ask you to bless our time tonight, that we become inspired to be about bringing greater sight to those who can't see physically as well as spiritually. We ask you to bless this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 All right. Well, that's what you get on the spot. So here we go. Just a couple of things I want to mention. I sent out an email fairly recently, but just to remind you of the upcoming United States Catholic Mission Association conference that will be in October, the end of October, 29th through the 31st. Many of you come to the PTA National Conference. This is a bit different in terms of an expanded group of missionaries. People from all different missionary work all over the world will be gathering together for that. It's going to be held just outside of St. Louis. You should have an email about that from me fairly recently, but I encourage many of you to join. Our own Diane Huggins, the president of our board, is one of the featured speakers. The theme is on the Eucharist, since we're having the Eucharistic Congress this summer, kind of in keeping with that theme. I'm expecting Kim Lamberty from the Quixote Center to join us. So I did ask her to join, and she's got a bit of a announcement she wants to make and invite some participation. So if I see her show up a little bit later, I might find time to fit her in at some point. So some of you may have a more updated, a more recent update of what's going on in Haiti, but they elected a prime minister today. Yoo-hoo! That was I just got a text about it just a little bit ago. And if I could find it, I could tell you who it is, unless one of you knows off the top of your head. Somewhat unexpected. Let's see.
It's Cornel.
Oh, thank you. It's what I'm hearing too is that the United States has sent a whole lot of equipment to the Port-au-Prince airport. We're providing the kind of the support for a security mission, whatever you want to call it. But a lot has arrived. They're expecting the Kenyans to arrive this week. They were expected last week. Delay after delay. What else is new? But the U.S. is providing a lot of the logistical support. As I understand it, the key objectives of the mission are to secure the airport, which they've already done. Flights have resumed, so good things going there. But also to secure the roads so they can begin to transport gas, food, all the kinds of things that aren't able to move about in Haiti. So that's a second part of their mission, and also just to provide open the port again so things can flow. And those of us who have parishes in the north certainly grateful for that, because there's a lot of folks who aren't getting food, and the food prices are enormous. So that's kind of what I'm understanding the mission to be of the Kenyans and some of the other forces that will arrive very soon. So obviously let's continue to pray for the success of that mission, and certainly the minimum amount of violence, as we certainly expect some to happen through this. But but for tonight, really excited I got to meet Larry and Million. How do you pronounce your name? I'm probably butchering it again. So,
No worries. Think Melinda without the duh.
Malin,
Malin.
without the duh. I like that.
And once you know me, it fits. So Melinda, no duh.
All right, Melinda. So I got to meet them and find out a little bit more about their ministry, and I was really excited. I got to talk with and meet the founder, Dr. Curtis. He's been at it for a lot of years. He was looking for somebody to kind of take over and take it to the next level, if you will. And they could probably tell you the story because I think it was certainly led by the Holy Spirit to find Larry. And it's a remarkable story, and they're doing great things. And I'm excited for those of you who haven't done an eyeglass mission to perhaps consider it and get prepared for it. So I'm just going to kick it to them and let you. I think you got a PowerPoint to share too, and thanks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Sure.
All
So,
right, Larry, go for it. And
so
then I'll
we've
bring
been
the
we've been
PowerPoint
doing
up.
mission work for about the last 15 years down in Guatemala, specifically around the garbage dump there in Guatemala City. And we've been doing nothing but house construction down there until about 3 or 4 years ago, where we finally just looked at each other and said, you know, I'm tired of hand mixing concrete and lugging 5-gallon buckets of concrete, maybe 50 yards to wherever the house is we're being built. So I wound up going on a mission trip with our church down to the Dominican. And I just said, what would you like me to do? Because I'm not doing any more house construction. So they said, how would you like to do vision ministry? So show me what to do. So we did it. We examined about 300 people in the week we were down there, and just a fantastic ministry that I got to witness. About a little over a year ago, I took my wife. We actually moved to Georgia, and Dr. Curtis is out of Charlotte, and we just decided, let's go up and get you trained in person by Dr. Curtis. And so Malin got trained, and while we were there, we got to talking with him, and that's how we wound up getting involved with him, because we said, Dr. Curtis, what happens to your ministry if something should happen to you, if the good Lord calls you home or something like that? And he just said, I've been praying for somebody to come along and carry this forward. So we worked with him. We've got a nonprofit going. We updated his website. We're currently working on online training. We do Zoom training, right, Tracy? And we actually did a training session today with a group down in Mission Circle. So we offer the Zoom training, and we just want to get the word out. Next week, we on June 8th, we head to the Southern Baptist Convention, where we'll have an exhibitor booth and spread the word about iDoc in a Box to about 20,000 participants there. Dr. Curtis will be up at the Presbyterian Church of America General Assembly in Richmond that same week with about maybe 4,000 to 5,000 people. Think of it as the second level of vision ministry. And I see Dr. Carlson and David, I got your email, and I'm wondering if I'm hoping that Dr. Curtis got in touch with you, because I got your email questioning what the ministry was all about. Yeah,
I just didn't see enough. So I just didn't see enough on the website to be able to understand, you know, the inner workings. Obviously, you're doing these Zoom trainings and such, and it sounds like it's working well for you.
yeah.
The
So-
Zoom training is great. We had it today, Jenny Eckert and me, and 4 of us. It's great. It's very exciting. It's easy to imagine us doing.
Yeah.
In a mission setting.
So think of like 4 levels of vision ministry. We've heard of mission teams going down with just eyeglasses, and what they wind up doing is just dumping them on a table and having people try out the glasses. Well, for people that have never worn glasses before, they put on a pair of maybe 1.5 or 2.0 readers, and yeah, they can read a book, but it's probably not crystal clear. The second level up that's where we come in. We train and equip lay people, no doctors, just lay people. Doctors are more than welcome to join us. In fact, we have an OD that's going to be joining us in Guatemala this coming September. And what we do is we use a refraction kit that Dr. Curtis put together and just test people's eyes, similar to as if you were at an optometrist office. You know, is this better? Is this better? but only it's for single vision. And then you've got your, and by doing that, we get to see maybe about anywhere from 10 to 20 people per hour, depending on, you know, what we're testing, who we're testing. Because if you start getting involved with young children, it could take longer. Some really older people, it might take a little older. So then you get to your third level where you probably have your optometrist come down, and but may wind up happening is you come down with your equipment and you may be trying to do some specific testing on each eye. That means you have to bring down a little bit more of an inventory, I think, of eyeglasses if you're going to try and get the exact fit for their eyes. And then of course you have your surgeons that come down and will remove cataracts. Dr. Carlson, you were saying you were doing cataract removals and other surgeries on your mission trips. So we're that second level, and right now we've been training quite a few number of people just in the last 3 months, just by getting the word out there. We attended the M3 Medical Missions Conference in Houston back in February, and we've gotten about maybe 5 or 6 churches that have already reached out to us for training, and they're going off on their mission trips. So that's my spiel. I'll let Malin take it away because she's got a more of
Can I
a
ask a quick
presentation.
question?
Sure.
So I haven't heard from Dr. Curtis, so if you know, you could follow up there, that would be great.
I
And
will.
then if I could somehow participate in one of the Zoom trainings, I think that would go a long way to helping me understand.
Super.
Happy to.
Malin has
And just so
actually
you know-
Malin has had optometrists and ophthalmologists in her training, and it passed the smell test. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we've got some good content. So yes, David, we'll make sure if we've got your contact information, it sounds like we do. We'll make sure that we can either do individual or with the next group. Happy to have you join a training
No,
session.
you know, I just want to support and, you know, provide, you know, whatever dance I can. I've done a number of mission trips.
Awesome.
Providing vision care. So
It's
happy to
fantastic.
help out in Haiti too, if that's back up and going, you know, given the unrest. Yeah, just want to support and help however I can.
That's awesome. Fantastic. Well, let me do this. I'm going to share a screen, and I want to just do a brief for those of you who aren't familiar with iDoc in a Box and just the need that's out there. So I'm going to do this. Let me do it from the beginning, and I'm going to share a screen. All right. I believe we have this. Larry, you see a screen, correct?
Yes.
All right. And so, yes, when we met with Dr. Curtis, he's been practicing optometry he's actually now retired. He's done over 80 mission trips himself, in addition to have his own practice. He's aware of about 3,000 people that he's trained, and I think 3 to 4 million patients at this point that he's aware of that have received eyeglasses through the people he's trained. And when we talked with him, we said, so what's your goal for this ministry? And he said, I would love to see if by 2025, perhaps, or 2050, 25 million people could receive eyeglasses as a result of people like you and anyone else on this call, primarily lay people, but certainly the medical professionals we welcome can be out there helping with the addressing the vision need. And so we talk about the need. So the need is clear, but their vision isn't. And so I want to just talk briefly about what's going on. So how big is the vision need? So interestingly, there's been in the past 10 years, and even most recently as of about a research study that was just published last month, there's been a lot of work lately looking at how many people simply need a pair of eyeglasses. And this was some work done by OneSight and Deloitte & Touche. And from their work, it's less than 10 years old. 1 in 7 people around the world needs glasses, just a pair of glasses. Now, we're not talking, you know, the additional pieces, because actually right now the number 1 cause of blindness is actually due to cataracts. So there's a number of things out there, but something that you and I as lay people can address, and that's that simple need for eyeglasses. And I love the headline out of the New York Times from just a couple of years ago. Simple way to improve 1 billion people's lives, simply a pair of eyeglasses. And it's the biggest healthcare crisis out there that you've never heard of. which is right before the edge of when COVID hit. So that was kind of a big headline as far as that goes. So when we think about it, obviously there are so many people out there that simply their lives would be improved by a pair of eyeglasses. Where are they? They're literally all over. When you think about it, they're all over the world, but they are most commonly seen in Africa, in Southeast Asia, in the worlds that you're covering also, though, in Latin America and South America. So there's the highest percentages when you think about in Africa and Southeast Asia, 44% of those individuals could use eyeglasses, simply a pair of eyeglasses. And when we think about the need for eyeglasses, certainly, and in looking at the faces that were coming on the screens, we think of certainly, middle-aged to older adults. Of course, you're going to need eyeglasses, with all the things that happen to us, that sort of thing. So yes, this estimate, they had over 300 million adults, 15 beyond, that needed eyeglasses. But as you start to look at those numbers, there's so many younger people that also need eyeglasses, from children ages 10 to 14 through our young adults, through our middle-aged folks. So the need is out there, and it's almost everywhere you can see. So tons of need as far as that goes. And certainly even just the efforts of iDoc in a Box, we're just one of many organizations that is stepping in to try and to share God's love through a pair of eyeglasses. As far as how big is the impact, think about it. When you put a pair of eyeglasses on, there are so many things that happen. So think about, let's just start at those ages. Over 200 million children. Most of us learn visually, whether looking at a blackboard, reading a book, that sort of thing. So the need for learning and the need for glasses is significant. I got eyeglasses in the 4th grade. I looked at my 3rd grade picture. Here's me in the 3rd grade, no glasses. Here's me in the 4th grade. Here's me with glasses. Unfortunately, I've been able to go on and continue to learn, but most of us learn through vision. And when your vision is impaired, it has significant impact on your ability to learn. And when your ability to learn is impacted, that actually then goes on and impacts such as your ability to get a job, your ability to do well in life, your ability to maintain your health, a variety of things, just from the start by impacting your learning ability. There was a study published, actually, the Thrift study was published just a month ago, and you'll see it in a couple of different publications, but they looked at the impact of a simple pair of eyeglasses on your ability to get a job and actually your ability to be productive and earn. In Bangladesh, it was a study, this was specifically in Bangladesh, not a huge study, but they actually found that in this case, salaries were increased by 30-some%, just because people were able to have a pair of eyeglasses. And when you think about it, it sort of makes sense. If you need to do need to be able to see to do handwork, if you need to see to be able to drive a cab, if you need to see to almost do anything, painting, any other type of handwork, the ability to be productive, to be able to learn. We had a whole village in India that Dr. Curtis was working with, and a group of mothers that wanted desperately to get eyeglasses. And in talking with them through the interpreter, and finding it's what is, why are eyeglasses important to you? And the comment of one mother was the fact that she wanted to make sure she could get the rocks out of the rice that they serve their children. And for those of us in the States, we think about the bag of rice that we get off of our shelf or out of the grocery store. And it's like, yeah, I don't see rocks too often in it. So in and of itself, having rocks in your food sounds like a pretty impactful or problematic thing. But actually the woman's story went on, because she said, because what happens is this: they had a little boy just about a year prior, a young child, who bit down on a rock that was in his rice. He shattered the tooth abscessed, and the child died. So even in this case, health, safety can be impacted by simply having a pair of eyeglasses. For those of you that are wearing eyeglasses, I'm challenging you to think about trying to just fix your dinner without your eyeglasses on, and do it safely. Or please don't get out in your car and take your glasses off as you go to drive. But again, think about how important your ability to see clearly is. So the impact is significant having a pair of eyeglasses. So large need, massive impact by just having a piece of a pair of eyeglasses. And we think about, well, why is it so hard? It's because in the 3rd grade, when I went through the screening class in my class at school, and they said, hey, Malin needs to go see an eye doctor and have her vision tested, my mom made a call that, right away. We got in, I think probably the next week, saw the eye doctor, had my vision tested, and probably, I believe, in about a week after that, I walked out of there with a pair of eyeglasses, and my worlds, basically continue to be amazing since. But our worlds aren't the worlds of so many of the people that you see on your mission trips and that are in around the world. So when you think about it, affordability is significant. When we think about a pair of eyeglasses in the United States, yes, those can be very expensive. I think, Larry, your last set of transitions were $400,
Yep.
And that's here in the States. But even typical mission glasses, which are relatively inexpensive, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. For many people, what they find is the comparable cost or the comparable value. It's almost a month's pay, not the 400, but a pair of mission glasses. It's about a month's pay in many, many cultures. And that's even if they had that month's pay, if they could get the eyeglasses with it. Some people actually, we find they've never had their eye tested. They don't know actually that they have vision challenges. They don't know what good vision looks like. And so some people actually are not aware of the fact that they need eyeglasses. And so are in fact are challenged from a vision perspective. And there's so many people, unlike us here at home, that, my mom just called the vision clinic and got an appointment. There's many countries where there is no doctor available, or there's no doctor you could get to within an easy ability, or that they could afford. And so when you think about it, there's so many different reasons that, the ability to get to eyeglasses is just not in their realm of able or ability. So for many folks, we make that something through mission trips, a reality. So let me just talk to you, and Tracy, catch me if I'm wrong. Okay, you just went through the training. Okay, no pressure on you, friend. But there are 4 very common. These are the 4 most common issues why you and I and any of us that are on this in the call wear eyeglasses. Okay, and I'm going to excuse. There's something called nearsighted. I was nearsighted. I was diagnosed with being nearsighted when I was 9 years old, and which meant I could read my book, but I couldn't see the screen, the blackboard. I think it's a whiteboard today, but so I'm nearsighted. I couldn't see far away. Okay, and that's not uncommon to have that start to appear from age like 9 to 14, 6 to 14, sorry. And what's interesting, real weird trivia, I won't go into a lot of it, but basically what's going on is our eyeballs are a little too long, or the curvature of our corneas, that front part of your eyeball, it's a little over curved. Okay, hyperopia, most of us call it farsighted. You typically are born with it, and that's where you really can't see close up very well. And again, the opposite thing is happening. Your eyeball's a little too short for how the lens in your eye, where it would want to focus back in your retina. And we cover all of this in the training program. You have things called astigmatisms, which basically, instead of having this nice round front of your eye, it's basically, instead of more like baseball, it's more like a football. And so what happens when you have that uneven roundness or unequally curved front or cornea of your eye, you end up with multiple spots of focus in your eye, which is why people have fuzzy vision when they have astigmatisms. And astigmatism frequently comes with, in addition to nearsightedness or farsightedness. Sometimes you get blessed. I was blessed with both. And then something that many of us develop in later age, basically age 40 on, you'll have that opportunity for, as our eyes get older and the lens in our eye starts to get less flexible, we have that ability. It's because it becomes less flexible, we're not able to focus as well. And so sometimes it's called old age sight, but I think we all laugh about, no, it's actually my arm got too short. So I can't hold my book out far enough. And those are the 4 most common. You think of those almost billion people out there that need a pair of eyeglasses. It's typically one of these 4 reasons. And from a correction standpoint, and I think I've got that covered, sorry, on my screen here. What's fascinating on a correction standpoint, and why we love this opportunity from a mission standpoint, to correct all of these, it's a pair of eyeglasses. Okay. Yes, there are other opportunities. There are surgeries. I had LASIK when I was a middle-aged adult. There's a variety of other things, but for virtually everyone in the world that has any of these 4 of the most common vision problems, putting a pair of eyeglasses into their hands or on their faces will correct that problem for them. So the answer is really, really simple. So how did that happen? All right, let's continue. All right, so what do a pair of mission eyeglasses cost? Okay, you're thinking, well, why is it, if there's that big a deal? It's interesting when you look at it. If you would just forgo one ice cream cone, a commercial ice cream cone. I took the name of the vendor off the bottom because I didn't want to advertise for anybody. But if you were just to get a softy ice cream cone, about $1, that's how much a pair of eyeglasses going into the mission field costs today. And so when you think about it, it's like, wow, for $1, I can get a pair of eyeglasses on people. So it's financially, it's really, really doable to go over and serve people through a pair of eyeglasses. Now, how do we do this? How does iDoc in a Box work with you as a potential mission team or mission goer to get to do this? So Dr. Curtis, who's, again, he's trained optometrist, now retired. What he put together was a very simple set of lenses of opposite strengths, but you'll see a 0.5, and there's a 0.5 strength lens, there's a 2.0 strength lens, there's a 3.0 strength lens, there's a 4.25 strength lens. A very simple set of lenses. The red and the dark simply means that the dark, it's a plus lens. So that'd be a plus 3.0, which is typically what you might see. That's actually what my readers are. The red would be a minus 3.0, which would be more common for someone who needs distance glasses. So you have a set of what we just refer to them as flippers, because you can literally flip them over as you combine them. We learn that's your office. That's what you take to the field. And that's why it's so simple from a mission perspective. You don't need electricity. You don't need a lot of other tools. There's some things you can work along with it from just additional tools for like folk vision things for people to read or to look at from a distance. But it's a very simple process. Once you test their eyes, is this better or is this better? Is this better or is this better? Then what you do is you simply then go to an inventory of eyeglasses that you bring with you, and you fit them with a correct pair of eyeglasses, and you've given them the ability to see, and you've given them a very tangible form of God's love. You've given them that ability to read their Bible, perhaps again, to go do handwork, to do whatever work that they needed to be doing. We had one gentleman from Guatemala last summer when we were working down there, older gentleman, and he said, we tested him and he was able to get the glasses. It worked. He goes, "I will play my saxophone when I meet you again in heaven." And so it's like, well, the good news is you won't need your eyeglasses then, but we'll look forward to seeing your eyeglass or to listening to your saxophone. But what's a little bit different about iDoc in a Box, if you were to go with almost any NGO, a non-government organization, this is where they would stop. Test the eyes, give them the glasses, and go on to the next patient. But for all of you that are on the call, for Larry and myself, for Dr. Curtis, eyeglasses are temporary. We all know we go to a different body when we die. So this is a temporary address of a problem. What the ability to sit down and work with someone and giving them eyeglasses, it gives you that opportunity to then also have a conversation with them about their faith. And that's the third step of our clinic. Test them for their eyes, fit them with a pair of eyeglasses, and then usually, again, using your local, whether it's your local priest, your local pastor, a local missionary, someone on the field that lives there with those individuals, then they have that opportunity to have a conversation with that individual about their relationship with Jesus Christ. Because where there might be 1 billion people that need eyeglasses, all of us need to hear about the Lord. All of us have sinned. All of us, must receive, his messages of salvation. So and that's what we'll talk about in the clinic, how to set it up so that you do from refraction, the testing of eyes, the fitting of eyeglasses, and then making sure that you have an evangelism or a salvation conversation with those individuals. And it provides your local, again, your priest, your pastor, your local missionary with a wonderful opportunity for them to meet these individuals and to follow up with them on a long-term basis. So a complete clinic includes all 3 steps in this process. And we'll talk about some tools you can use during our training that will help make all of this possible. And what we find is, and these are just some of the pictures that we took last June when we were in Guatemala, we had families that would come in. We had we have young girls, working individuals, we have school-age kids, we have older adults, we have middle-aged adults. And I don't know if you noticed, there were 2 things that were common in all these pictures. One, yes, we did fit all of these individuals with eyeglasses, but what you will find is the smiles that you get from folks when you fit them with a pair of eyeglasses. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, because you've been able to give them back, if you will, sight, and to be able to be productive and or to learn and or to read their Bible. We hear that so many times. I can read my Bible again. I haven't been able to read my Bible in 20 years, you know. Or I had one very astute woman. I think she was about 80, Larry, last year. I fit her with her eyeglasses, and she saw Larry standing there with the eye chart, and she looked at him and she goes, he's cute. Of course, this is all being translated from Spanish. He's cute. I think I should take him home. So anyway, the joy that you bring to people through a simple pair of eyeglasses and that opportunity to talk with them about the Lord is absolutely wonderful. You will love that opportunity. Now, what do we do with iDoc in a Box? Because a lot of folks, it's like, when can you go on your next trip? And we actually, we have our own personal trips that Larry and I do, just a family trip. And that's not what we're here to do, is to invite you on our family trip. We're here to help train and equip you to go out into the field on your mission trip. We're here to enable you to do the training. And Tracy, be prepared. I'm just going to ask you to do like a 30-second blurb on the training that you went through today. And if there's anybody else on the line, would love to hear from you guys as well. But it's a very simple training program. It's focused. It's developed for lay people. We'll go through a little bit of anatomy, a little bit of common diseases you might see, so that you just understand what you might be seeing. But our focus is on actually doing the eye testing. We call that refraction. You know, which set of lenses gives you clearer vision, whether you're reading or looking far away. And then we'll also, from an equipping standpoint, we can enable you to get, if you will, the equipment. How do you, the flipper sets that we can make available, that we sell and make available. The training we're able to now make available for free. We did become a nonprofit, as Larry said. We're working with Dr. Curtis. He'd been a one-man individual show and he'd not been charging a lot, but he'd been charging to just simply go and make training available. We went out last fall and asked for donations, and we told folks that, look, your donation will be entirely to enable us to train and equip people. And as long as we have funds, we will continue to train and equip people. So we do that. That is our purpose, is to train and equip you guys. And then we do a lot of work simply as a nonprofit. We do things like this. You know, we're here to enable to, I think, Tracy, you guys called it fishing today. We're looking for folks that might be interested in learning how to do this. We're going to those conferences. We've started to create websites, update training, make it available by Zoom. We're hoping to get it online so anybody at any time can actually just log in and do their training. So we do some nonprofit work as well, for the purpose of, again, raising awareness so that people can learn about how simple it is to go on your next mission trip with that opportunity to fit people with eyeglasses. Because that was one of the other things when we talked to Dr. Curtis about what would you like to have happen as a result of your ministry. And he said, I think I would love to see it, because it really can happen. Every mission trip should have a vision component. It complements anything else you go out in the field to do. It's so easy to bring the equipment with you. It's so easy to train people. There shouldn't be a mission trip going out into the field, into any country, that it doesn't have a vision component. So that's part of what we're trying to do, is simply raise awareness. Because as Tracy, you and your group, I think it was Ginny, and I can't see if Ginny's on the phone. She saw what was coming tonight, and she already contacted Larry and said, hey, we're leaving soon. Can we get trained? And so we did their training this morning. So that is what iDoc in a Box is all about. It's training and equipping you, or folks from your parish, to go, as you go down into your twin or your sister parishes, to be able to bring that service to those folks that are part of your organization and your world down there. So that's who we are. So I'm going to just stop sharing, and we can contact us, the website iDoc in a Box. I think it's also in the information that was sent out earlier. But let me just stop. I do want to ask, sorry, Tracy, I am going to put you on the
That's okay.
spot. And I don't know if any of your other classmates were here. What did
Jenny's
you think
here.
of the training?
Jenny's here, but I'll go ahead.
Okay.
It's a 4-hour course. It goes by really quickly because it's so interesting. Mylyn and
Larry?
do a fantastic job. They go through, as Mylyn already did just now, they go through the 4 different types of eyes, problems with the eyes mainly that we'll see: nearsighted, farsighted, stigmatism, and the older eye. The flippers, as they call them, are easy to navigate. They're numbered. Black is positive, red is negative, and you come up with a formula that suits each eye. There's a chart you go by, so we think it won't be as hard at all to do. It seems like something that is doable, very doable. They also go through how to set up your office, so to speak, or how to set up the flow of people coming in to see you. You know, you have the people testing the eyes. Hopefully you might have a translator, although you don't have to say a whole lot. You're saying the same thing pretty much over and over again. And then somebody to test the frames after you have decided what their problem is. And they show you how to set it up so you have an easy flow of people going through. They have kits of glasses. It amounts to like $1 each for the pairs of glasses, so you can decide how many you want to take of each level, you would say. They even have the original diagnosis, where the intake, so to speak. They have papers where your intake person will put all their information on the front of it, and you can leave it for the priest or pastor to put his information on the back of it. This can stay at your mission, so to speak. So they have slips where the eyeglasses go into the slip, and you can put like a holy card or some kind of information that you want to put in there with the glasses that relates it back to a spiritual adventure as well as a physical one. So really, I'm probably skipping some of the components, but it's very well laid out. It's a 4-hour Zoom meeting. It seems like it's a half hour. It's very interesting, and it appeared to the 4 of us as this is something we really can do. In fact, there's a group going to Cuba in June that is going to try it out. So, Jenny, you want to continue?
You're on mute.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Jenny, you have to unmute.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
We're,
Yes, we can hear you.
yeah, I didn't unmute anything. I'm not sure. I had to sign in with my phone because my early registration didn't take, and then it just led me right in. So I'm working on an itty bitty screen now. But I just want to affirm what Tracy said. The program was wonderful. I'm so glad that we were able to do it so quickly so that we'll be prepared for Cuba and then Honduras. We could see the applications directly, and they did make it very understandable and gave all of the extra kinds of things like where do you get a pen light and where do you get I can't remember what you need, but all
eye charts.
Yes, the eye charts and the different kinds of eye charts, so that we are really prepared to go after just a very short time.
Yeah, I feel like we could go tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just practice a little bit and go. But I mean, this is doable. This is a really good thing.
Thank you guys so much.
We haven't done it yet, but
well, when you come back, maybe David, Mr. Seiler, you can on a subsequent one, if they give them 5 minutes once they come back, so they can report on what it was like. It might be a good thing.
Yeah.
But let us stop for questions. There might be a few questions from those of you that are listening when you think about your own group and perhaps your next coming mission trip, or what might we be able to answer for you about iDoc in a box?
Can
I've
I
got a
just
question.
ask? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'll ask real quick. We've taken sunglasses a lot of times to El
Mhm.
Salvador. So tell me what I mean,
Absolutely. Good job. And we'll talk about it during we talk about, Tracy, do you remember the two names where you needed sunglasses? I know I said I wouldn't be a test. Jenny, do either one of you? The pinguincula,
Oh, those were the
PT word.
the
Uh,
PT words.
those were the hard names.
Those are two. So actually, Ellie, you're spot on. There are a couple of
The
eye
surfer eye, the
issues.
surfer.
Surfer eyes, yes.
Pinguicula and pterygium.
Yes,
Iridium.
exactly. That are caused by folks that are out in the sun a lot. And so if you've got eyeglasses, particularly that have UV protection, not necessarily the novelty glasses like we get at kids' birthday parties, but with the others, they are awesome to bring down for individuals when you see that, because it's an actual way to help protect the eye. So awesome job. That'd be great to bring down. And in fact, we encourage any group that's going down, particularly anywhere as you get closer to the equator and you're in near more and more sun and sunlight, to make sure you have a selection of sunglasses in your materials that you go down with. So good job. Spot on with that one.
Do the
Appreciate that.
eyeglasses that you provide, do they have UV protection?
Ellie, I think that question's to you, Ellie?
we try to get them with that, but we usually just get them at the dollar store, try to get cheap ones. So,
Okay.
But I mean,
they usually
through
are
eye doctor in a
UV
box.
These, the ones that Dr. Curtis gets from the Lions Club are just your Plano sunglasses. So
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't
I
mean,
believe the,
no, so I mean the glasses that you're providing. So a lot of people in these regions are outside a lot.
yes.
And if they have glasses, I was just asking, are those glasses UV protected?
With the sunglasses, what we try and
No,
do
no,
is
not sunglasses. Just
Oh,
the
the regular
regular
lenses?
glasses.
Are they
No.
made of a polycarbonate or a plastic
No,
material?
No.
these are not necessarily with UV protection. No, and that's not something we can do.
Yes. So the
And
glasses we provide we're basically at the mercy of the Lions Club of Charlotte. What Dr. Curtis does is he gets a collection from them at their central
they
depot.
have hundreds of thousands of
And
eyeglasses that
he
go
will
through
use
there
a
that he's able to
lensometer
go
and go
through.
through each and every one of those glasses, discard any of the broken or scratched ones, and then put a bag together, a specific diopter strengths of the good ones, and he'll clean them off and just
Yeah.
package them for.
So these lenses they're not new lenses, then they're just coming from
It
other
can be a
stores.
mix, David. It
Could
can
be a
actually be a
mix.
mix.
I
So
would say most of them are used, but there would be a mix of some new ones in there.
And we
But then you get the
supplement.
frames as well.
Yes, and we will supplement, and we'll talk about where you can get more eyeglasses, some of the new ones, and some of the nonprofits that are out there providing new ones, again, for mission teams, so they're inexpensive.
Mhm.
So yes,
Is
exactly.
is this something that only corrects the spherical part of the correction then? Is that?
So what Dr. Curtis has found and what he recommends is this. So typically, those of you that, again, the difference between spherical and cylindrical. Typically, if you've got astigmatism, it's a lens that takes both a convex and a concave lens and puts them together and creates a spherical lens or a cylindrical. And I promise when you actually get in the field, you won't need to know the names. For the practitioners, it helps a good deal. But what he's found is that while yes, here in the States, having a cylindrical lens is what we would use for astigmatism. What he's found, though, that is you are able to correct vision with a spherical lens for folks with astigmatism to a percentage that gives them good to great vision. Maybe not perfect and not what we would do here in the States, but regular spherical lenses will give them good vision. And so we use solely spherical lenses, which is, when you think about folks, for those of you, if you're going, what's a spherical? Anytime you pick up a typical, if you go to your CVS or your Walmart or anywhere you're getting some reading glasses, and many of the simple distance glasses, those are simple, what we call spherical lenses. So they're primarily focused on that nearsighted and farsighted, but they will improve astigmatism when you're doing stuff in the field. That's what enables us to very easily treat many people. And we say, and we recognize this is not the United States. We don't do things such as just the right eye and the left eye. You know, what we hear, if you've ever gone to the United States, they'll say cover your right eye, then cover your left eye, and you get different lenses for both eyes. We give monovision glasses. So, because what we've also found is that your eyes are able to adapt and that the stronger will help the weaker. So it's one where, is it what you would have in the United States? No. We also don't let you go and say, no, which frames would you like? You know, what color do you like? What do you think would look good on you? It's a very different approach. In fact, we told Tracy and Ginny today, do not bring a mirror to the fitting table. We're not asking them, do you like how you look in those glasses? Because there's a lot of glasses. What you're doing is you're taking your inventory bag of glasses and you're looking at the face and saying, okay, if I even have different types of frames, sometimes you'll have a bag of just black framed glasses, which fortunately right now black framed glasses are really popular. But you know, that may be the only thing in that bag, or there may be a couple of different types and sizes of frames with the glasses, and you're looking at that one going, this is what I think would look best. And so that's typically, so it is a very different approach than what we are accustomed to in the United States. But what you are doing is still bringing good vision to so many people that would not have been able to see it. But I love Dr. Curtis. He was just in Uganda for a 10-day trip not too long ago. He was able to see over 3,000 people in a 10-day visit. He's able to work very quickly through it. You know, Larry and I, typically we can count on seeing, sorry, I've got a fly flying here. We can do easily 600 to 700 people in a week. So, I mean, your opportunity to impact so many lives is absolutely phenomenal. So I appreciate that. And let me ask, Kurt, you've been very kind to keep your hand up there, and I'm impressed you know that raise your hand function. We use that in my ongoing Bible study. What's your question?
2 questions. We have a sister parish in Haiti. And we have already established a medical clinic there. But
Awesome.
because of the violence, we're not able to actually visit there. But we do have a nurse on staff who is Haitian. Is there a way to get her this type of training?
Yes, absolutely. No, the training we can do by Zoom. In fact, we just did a training about 2 or 3 weeks ago. The 8 faces were on the screen. We're all in Ethiopia.
Okay.
So the Zoom training
is,
doesn't matter. Do
you have contacts with any Haitian doctors who would be able to work at our clinic?
We do not. We train, our focus is on lay people going into the field.
Okay.
So we're starting to get names that we're just trying to say, hey, we know so-and-so in this country. But again, with that's really not the focus of what we try and do. Our focus is all of you as you go out on mission trips to enable you to do it, to have the tools that you need, to have the understanding of how to basically bring a great vision clinic along with you on a mission trip. So what you could do is we could get her trained. You'd have to figure out how to get the flipper set, the diopters into her.
Right.
And the glasses, you'd have to think about how you're going to get glasses. And we do talk about in the training materials, for example, if you're going into another country, bringing letters of custom, you know, for customs officials from your sending organization. So you're sending church, perhaps, again, translated in the language of the country you're going into. These glasses are going into this country not to be sold, but to be given away in a clinic. And from your receiving organization, again, some similar language. There's some sample letters in the training material, so that again, so should customs stop you, they'll have some ability to understand why are there glasses in these. We talk very clearly about do not pack all of your eyeglasses in one suitcase. You know, distribute them amongst all the folks going down. And I think Ginny or Tracy, you guys said, and you put them in your shoes for a little protection even around them.
We put the glasses in.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, appreciate that. How about some other questions?
Kate has a question. She's had her hand up.
Oh, Kate, thanks. And you're muted, I believe. There you go.
So you give glasses with the different prescriptions. do you recommend that we ask for donations of reading glasses at the different prescriptions? Would that be all right to add those in? And
If
then,
you, sure, go ahead.
and then we also have big boxes of glasses from our Lions Club, but we don't know the prescriptions for them. So how much value do they have?
Well,
Mary, you want to take that one?
unless you have a lensometer, they might not have that much value, because I got 3 boxes delivered from the Snyder's Club of Lions Club of Nebraska, Snyder, Nebraska. And I went through the first box, and probably out of about 200 glasses in that box, I could use maybe 10 of them. Because most of them were either scratched, broken, or progressive lenses. You mainly are looking for single vision distance and or reading glasses. Now, one place, and I mentioned this to Tracy and Ginny, one place that you might want to check is an organization called AmeriCares. You have to be, I believe, a licensed doctor in order to get signed up with them. And they have a list of various things that they have available for medical teams that are going on mission trips. Some of the equipment are reader glasses of specific strengths. And when I was going down with our trip in the Dominican, the woman that trained me, she gave me these boxes of plus 2.0 and a box of plus 2.50 reader glasses. There must have been about 100 in each box. So AmeriCares might be able to provide some of your a good portion of your reader glasses should you have a mission trip going. They don't do the distance glasses, and distance glasses are becoming a little bit more difficult to find, especially certain strengths.
Yeah.
I've been trying to find minus 1.25s, and it's almost impossible to find them on the website that we tend to try to search for these glasses.
One
So
of
you
the
had a
things, though,
comment?
Kate, that we do provide, and this is based on Dr. Curtis doing this, going out in the field for 20 plus years. He also found kind of recommended numbers for each of the strengths, you know, about how many, if you've got 100 pair of glasses, how many plus 1.0s, 1.25s, 1.5s, 1.75s, that, you know, through, and all the minuses as well. And in general, what he found is it's about 70% of the glasses that he gives away are reading glasses. And about 30% are distance, but he also has a recommended distribution, if you will, if you're putting your own kits together, to give you an idea, and so you could see if those that you have you could use. So appreciate that. Did you have a second question? And then Sue will go to you. Okay, sounds good. Sue, this is really simple compared to what you do.
Yeah, well, but I wanted to give a shout out to the Lions Club. You know, I know you've talked about that. But the Lions Recycling Center, and I've done a lot of work in the Lions Recycling Center, so I'm very familiar with it. They take the used glasses, they clean them, they put them through a machine called a lensometer to read what the prescription is in the right and the left eye. They label them, then they'll package them. And I've used the Lions Club many times to get glasses to take on mission trips. And you can request specifically that you don't want to have bifocals, that you want to have glasses that don't have any astigmatic correction, that you can say how many far-sighted glasses you want, how many nearsighted glasses. You could say, I only want readers. So, and if you can be specific about what you want, and it's all free, they'll ship it to you all for free.
What Lions Club is this, Sue?
It's in Virginia, Northern Virginia.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
They're a wonderful organization to partner with as far as that goes.
Yes,
So,
they really, really are.
fantastic. Thank you. How about some other questions?
One other question.
Yes, Sally.
You probably don't do much with kids, because I worry about the kids with the amblyopia or the lazy eye. I mean, if you catch that early, it would be great.
Yeah, and I will say, so good question. Kids are a challenge, no doubt about it, for a couple of different reasons. When you see things like with the little ones, when you see the lazy eye and some of the other things, that's when we definitely want to have a referral place to send them to. And that's where, you know, having Sue, or I think when we were talking to Jenny and Tracy today, they were talking about they actually already have a doctor, an eye doctor in the area that they can make referrals to. So there's just a little of that. One of the things that we tend to recommend maybe age about 10 and on to work with them, or if a teacher has screened them in school and has said, hey, this person is having difficulty reading his or her books or seeing the screen. And here's why. When you think about eye testing, vision testing, it's referred to as a subjective question. Is this better or worse? And usually when you think about better or worse, it's a little bit, not a big bit, but it's a little, is this a little, and we've seen when we try with some of the kids, you'll ask them the questions, which one's better? Is this one better? Is this one better? And very slowly, and that's, but, and they'll look at their mom and it's like, what do I say, mom? So, because it's a difficult question, a subjective question is difficult for children. And so what we find is that, you know, if you were to ask them, is it blue or green? That's an objective question. That's much easier to answer. So subjective questions in and of themselves are tough for children. So you want to be careful about actually getting the right vision glasses on them. And if you don't know if the answers you're getting back are actually helpful, that's why we tend to say, work with your older children and above. Plus the myopia tends to start to occur. Like I said, I was 9 before I was actually, it was seen for me. So you're probably going to get them early enough from a learning standpoint to still help with as far as that goes. And particularly, and we talk about in the class, it's balancing speed and care, because you want to be able to treat as many people as you can while you're there. And children take so much time because it's just there. It's tough for them to understand which one's better. So that's why we tend to not see a lot. And if you do see specific children's issues, such as what you talked about, definitely that's one where we would say, work with your local group on the ground and have a referral spot. Kids, same thing with cataracts. You know, we can't do cataracts. Sue, God bless you that you can, you know, but you may, for the rest of us, we say have an organization where you can do a referral when you see things that, you know, are beyond. Our focus is to get them in glasses.
David has a question.
Yes, David.
So if someone
Appreciate your
has
questions.
Oh, I'm sorry, am I muted?
No,
Nope,
you're good.
You're good.
Okay. And keep track. So if somebody needs you know, reading glasses and distance glasses, you would give them 2 different pair.
Yes.
It's exactly so. I have, and I've started doing it because it's what I do. These are my reading glasses and these are my distance glasses. And that's exactly what we do, because we can't do bifocals or transitions. And I thought, you know, if I'm giving these to other people, I should probably understand what I'm doing to them. And it's a little cumbersome, but you know, it's actually not too bad. If you're doing that and you're choosing to do that, you just mark on a little bag that goes with the eyeglasses. Are these for reading or for these for distance? What we find is, it's funny, typically the distance glasses, when we put them on people, they want to put them in their bags. Like, no, you can wear them right now. You can leave them on and go out with them on. But yes, we would give them 2 pair of glasses.
Mm-hmm. Do you provide any kind of cleaning materials, any kind of lens cloths, anything that, because a lot of times, you know, things get pretty scratched up in an environment like this.
Yeah. So we encourage people, that may be one of the things they can bring with them. So, and a lot of mission teams do, they'll actually get packs of the microfiber cloths to bring down with you, to bring along and put in with the eyeglasses. We currently aren't providing them, but we are providing them. And Larry, I don't know if you have any of the little plastic sleeves there. What we do put in the kits that we provide, it's a little plastic, it's kind of like a Ziploc bag with the zip on the side, the short side, where they can slip their glasses in. It's kind of instead of an eyeglass case.
Yeah, so these are the plastic sleeves that you put your eyeglasses in, and if you have any evangelism tracks or anything like that, they easily fit inside these. So that in the event that you don't have like a local ministry person that they can talk to on their way out, at least you're leaving them with some materials that they can read at home.
But we're hearing, David, more and more teams as they talk about all the materials that they're bringing down with them, that they're including for each patient gets a lens cleaner.
So children would be the big challenge,
Yes.
you know, with this kind of a system. And I'm just kind of thinking about your demographics. Have you collected information? So you're in Guatemala?
No, we're actually in the States. Larry and I personally, we've
But
been
you've
on
done
our
mission trips.
personal mission trips. We've been going to Guatemala for almost 20 years.
So I was just curious if you've collected information around the prescriptions that you've given out. Do you
No.
give more plus lenses than minus lenses? Do you?
Oh, it's more,
when you
it's
go
more of a
down-
70-30 mix.
It is, yes.
We found on one trip, it was more of a 65-35 mix. So it varies depending on your clientele.
And what we
Well-
can do, David, we can send you, it's in one of the pages in the training manual, what Dr. Curtis has found. So he has done enough. I don't know that he's done its actual research, but anecdotal findings from just how many glasses he has left over and that sort of thing versus how many he's brought down. He has that recommended distribution of how many plus glasses and how many minus glasses, how many reading glasses versus how many distance glasses, and at what strength. So we do have some of those to recommend. Yes.
The thing that makes this a little bit different is that the typically populations you go to on these mission trips have plus lenses. That's why you take readers. That's why you're able to help a lot of people just with those prescriptions. But in this case, I know there's a school also there in Haiti, and it's possible you might have some minus prescriptions. It's just you might need to do it more by eye chart and not ask, is this better or worse? You might need to say, read this for me. And if they
Absolutely.
can't read it, then it's not working for him.
And those are some of the materials that we recommend is like, if you're going to be in a building, bring down a Snellen chart if you want to, bring down a tumbling E chart, a picture chart for the illiterates.
Or kids that haven't learned to read yet.
Yeah.
But as we were laughing with the team this morning that we trained last year when we brought an objects chart down for children, since they haven't learned to read
They
yet.
wouldn't know what the objects were. Yeah.
Nobody knew what a boat was.
or a telephone.
The kids in
Young
Guatemala
telephone.
City had not seen boats. And so it's like, well, maybe the object chart wouldn't be the right thing. So I appreciate that.
Andrea has a question.
Andrea.
Maybe we should make a local one for them.
Yes.
Andrea, you're on mute. There you go.
So just a quick question, and I think this is kind of a David Seiler question, or so shipping anything to Haiti right now, as you know, is not feasible. So all of this would be relying on the Lion shipments or shipping. It would have the same shipping problem, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Shipping is still an incredible challenge. Certainly hope that with an intervention, things will kind of ease a bit, because a lot of it has to do with what's going on at the ports with customs, etc. So there is a company in the north, and I'll be sharing that information shortly. It's a mailboxes, etc. in Cap Haitian that you can actually, it's functional right now. They're shipping from Miami. Well, they're not shipping, they're sending it via plane every day to the location in Cap Haitian near the airport. The things arrive in 3 days. You can actually, I'll send you the link. You can sign up for an account. You get your own PO box in Miami where you can send things there, and then they fly on the plane the next day to Cap Haitian. So if you have somebody in the north that can actually physically pick them up, that's functional now. It's incredible thing. A guy, Notre Dame graduate, just set up this organization up in the north, but I'll keep you posted as far as it was what I hear about shipping.
I was going to say, I work with Joe and Jennifer Rennekamp, so I think that's what I heard about recently, that they were talking about shipping prescriptions from or to Cap Haitian to another city close to Jacmel. So I think Joe and Jennifer have that information, but
Okay.
I was thinking about, I think it's, what is it? Global Vision 2020 has it's a kit. Well, that'd be a huge shipment too. So
we all pray for the day when we can carry them down on our own suitcases. We start to travel again.
Or via cargo ship or something that's not sending the minimum or most valued items.
Yeah. And by the way, when any of you get ready to travel to Haiti, and I'm talking specifically Haiti, and you don't want to go through customs, let me know. I have a contact now that can get us to the airport in Cap-Haïtien and in Port-au-Prince. Nobody ever looks in your suitcases. So
Oh.
there, you don't have to worry about anybody shaking you down. I've done it myself. I've taken a few other people through the same route. It's a good friend, Dick Neves, is on the call here too. Len Chanel. So you contact me. I can give you the details on how to do that. But you get the VIP treatment at the airport, and I'll tell you what, I'll never fly through the regular customs place
That's
again.
great
So,
news.
yeah,
So
That's
that
it's a
works
game
with
changer.
individuals then?
Yes.
I know our group does not go, of course, but individuals still do. So that
Okay.
is good to know.
Yeah, just let me know, and I can get the information to our
Okay,
contact,
great.
and he can take care of it. Yeah.
Great,
Very good.
thanks.
Yeah, Dick.
I have a question. Is there any cost affiliated with putting these kits together, like the eye charts and anything like the glasses, anything like that?
So we offer two kits. One is the refraction kits, and they're the set of 4 flippers. They're $100 each. And then we also, the Lions Club gets us the used and some new glasses. Dr. Curtis packages those into kits of 100 glasses and various diopter strengths. And we sell the 100 glasses along with like 5 or 10 sunglasses, the plastic sleeves, and we sell those for $100 as well.
Okay.
But we'll
Now,
also give you some suggestions on where to find eye charts if you choose to use
Yeah.
eye charts or
Yeah.
could. You know,
Pen
talk
light-
about
pen
what types
lights.
of materials to use for reading testing, as you know, near testing. Kids' Bibles are awesome. We've also, for those of you that go into countries perhaps where Spanish isn't the main language or English is not, we also have a tool. It's called The Most Important Story. It's an awesome book. It's the top, basically it's the stories from the Bible from creation through salvation. And it's currently published in over 107 languages.
Oh.
So you can bring that and use that both as your reading material, your testing, but also then you can leave it with the child or the individual. And it also has enough pictures. You can use it for the illiterates. How, you know, what animal is that? How many people are in that picture? That sort of thing. But it's a phenomenal tool. If you're going into a country where you can't find the language, look up Most Important Story. It's an awesome tool.
Fantastic. Well, oh, David, do you have another question?
So I'm sorry, did you say that 4 flipper bars were $100 each, or $400 for this kit?
No, $100 for the
pack of 4.
The package of 4 flippers.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The 4 different strengths, yes. No, not 400.
Yeah, and just know too, Larry and I talked about this today, is that having them donate a few pairs of the flippers, and PTPA can have those, and then we can, I can ship them to you, and you can ship them back when you're done if you don't necessarily want to invest in them. That will be an option we'll have too. So I'll be a library for flippers.
Awesome.
But we'd prefer if you just purchased your own.
Yeah.
But if you wound up getting more examiners to go down on a mission trip with you, and you needed another set of the set or two of the flippers, David would have the extra supply to just send to you.
Yeah, our goal is just to make sure you're equipped when you get to the field. So you've got our website. There's a phone number. Anything you have as far as questions, just ask. We're happy to answer any questions you have. Our goal is that you're out in the field doing the testing and just making a difference in people's lives, both spiritually as well as physically.
And David, as we get the Zoom training scheduled with various groups, I'll just let you know we've got a training session going on. If you want to join in with one of your team members here that might be doing it, or maybe another organization from somewhere around the country, you're more than welcome to join in.
Terrific, terrific. Well, Melinda and Larry, thank you so much for
you.
What you're doing.
Just one last question.
Oh, go ahead, David.
So you're seeing thousands of people, and you're only taking a few hundred frames and glasses. Is that
no? We recommend 2 times the number of glasses to the patients that you anticipate seeing. So if you're going to see 500 patients in that week, we tell you to take 1,000 eyeglasses along.
So that's $1,000 investment for that trip.
Yeah.
And since these glasses are largely being donated by the Lions, why is there a $1 fee for the glasses?
It
Dr.
really ends
Kirk.
up being just the cost of time to try and get the materials, to get, because we're not getting them packaged. Sue, we're going to look into what you're doing because we've not had them packaged. We bought the lensometer. We're actually going through and finding them and package them with the other materials between the plastic lenses and the additional sunglasses and where we have to go buy them to supplement. So it's basically a break even. Trust me, it is not a money making opportunity.
I'm only curious because the Lions have been doing this for years and providing these frames and lenses. And I've gone on mission trips where a number of large companies have very graciously donated reading glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Super.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
if you can find organizations that will donate the glasses for you, great, dude. Go
We'll
for
donate
it.
the
Do
training,
that.
get your glasses. Our goal is just get out and do the work. That's
Well,
all.
and as you said, the key is to have those, make sure somebody is sorted and you know what the strengths are. And that I wouldn't want to go with just a bunch, a mess of glasses.
Right.
That's important. Yeah.
Now, Sue said the Lions Club up where she's at, they will do that for you. The one out of Charlotte just gives Dr. Curtis thousands of glasses and he goes through them individually.
So you have to ask for the recycling center, the Lions Recycling Center, and there are several throughout the country.
Okay.
Super. We're going to call.
Yeah.
We appreciate that heads up.
If they do that, then we'll probably not be charging anything for the glasses then, David.
That's great. Oh,
I don't know if you
fantastic.
can still hear me. My screen's gone blank.
Oh, yes. Oh, Carol, you have a question. If you'll unmute yourself, there you go.
Yes, I do. Do you charge for the training?
No.
No, okay. Thank
That's where we're using all the donations that come in to make everything available for free. But and the only thing, if you need us to come in person, for some reason, you've got a large group and you're going, I want you there, whether it's Dr. Curtis or the other, we would say, here's what the cost of getting us, not, basically it's just travel expenses to get us there. But we're finding that the Zoom training, and we'll have, like I said, the online training up, we hope in the next month or two. Our goal is anybody gets trained for free. That's what we're shooting for.
That's
where
fantastic.
Where are you located?
We're at just outside of Atlanta,
Oh, okay.
and Dr. Curtis is in Charlotte.
Okay. Thank you.
But I think Ginny and Tracy, you guys, we did Zoom with you today. We're finding the Zoom, because I've been a professional trainer. I've worked in corporate America right up until for most of my life. So I've done this with executives for years and years and years, and I've done a lot of work by Zoom. And so tools like this are phenomenal, and they're actually very effective for kids and adults both as a learning media. And I think Tracy and Ginny, I think it worked for you.
Yes, you do an excellent job. Excellent.
With the media itself, working with Zoom.
Yeah. Yes.
And we'll even give you breaks, just like we would if you were live. You just have to go buy your own coffee, though. David, we'll leave it with you now. How's that sound?
Okay, we're just gonna wrap it up. We've gone overtime. Thanks for hanging around. Obviously, there's great interest. I sure hope many of you will take them up on this incredible offer. Larry and Malin, thanks for saying yes to God to be in this ministry and carry on the great work of Dr. Curtis. And we have the opportunity to change lives in a pretty profound way. And I'm excited. I told them I can't wait to get trained and do my first eyeglass mission trip so I can experience it firsthand, because the joy that we can bring. I don't know about all of you, but every time I take a group down, the first question they ask, what is it? What are we going to do when we're there? And, of course, there's lots of responses to that. I always talk about it's about a relationship. And, people, we're American, we want to do something. This is something you can do and change lives in a profound way. So really excited about it. Thank you. I hope many of you will follow up with Larry and Malin and take this to the next level. Thanks everybody for joining, and wish you the best, and God bless you all in your continued mission.
Thank you, David.
Peace,
Thank you,
everyone.
David.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.